You want wool or you want fleece. Remember this, cotton kills. You don't want to wear cotton out in the bush. It's going to get wet, it's going to hold that moisture, it's going to get close to your body and lower your core temperature. So we have our wicking layer, we have an insulative layer, and if need be, a second insulative layer. And then I generally wear something over top that would be a windbreak layer. It would keep the wind, the rain off of me. This is a British Army coat, and I would just put that on. You notice that this has the straps on here. I was talking before about having the air flow out. If I close these down tight, you can see now no air is going to flow, and that's going to stop pumping on my body. This also has strings, drawstrings at the bottom. I can do the same thing if I zip this up. Then I can have this zippered. And once I get that zippered, if I need to, I can tighten these drawstrings in and pull the base tight around the bottom of my buttocks, and that will keep everything from pumping out down there. Again, keeping my core layer warmer. If it got much colder than it is, say less than 20 degrees, I'd want to change to a different over layer. This is a layer that I have that is specifically for cold weather. It is a duck, which is water repellent, or water, water just kind of sheds off of this. I guess that's why they call it duck. The inline is fleece again, and that's very, very warm. If I put this on, it also has an added hood that I have over top of me. And now, with two insulative layers and this on, I'm probably good down to about minus 10 or minus 15 degrees. So anything here in Missouri, I'm going to be very warm. I can take this, I can pull this in, and again, I would have my wool watch cap or my fleece watch cap underneath of that. Inside of here again, it has the cuffs, and those cuffs will keep any pumping from occurring. And then it's got the overlayers that I can actually put my gloves over this and under this. So there's not going to be any wind infiltration on my body. Now lastly, let's get to our lower body extremities, our legs and our feet. Alright, when you think of your legs, when you think of pants systems, think of the same thing. We need layering. And the first thing that we're going to need is a wicking system, something to pull the moisture away. And if it's very cold, I will wear some long johns. These are actually fleece long johns, and the fleece are nice, but you can get these in wool, you can get them in anything. What they do is add not only a wicking layer, but you can see this little pattern in here that actually will take away or trap heat in there, and so it's going to cause dead air spaces, and it's going to enable you to keep warmer on your bottom legs. If you can't get those, another option, which I have used and they work very well, are fleece pants. Now, these fleece pants are just a couple dollars. I don't know, probably $6 or $7 at a Family Dollar or Walmart type store like that. You can buy these fleece lined pants, and these are very, very warm. I've worn these out just as sweatpants in the winter without anything else. But if I put these underneath of my cover layer, which is to keep moisture off, which is to keep wind out, then I'm going to be very warm. So that's what I use for my bottom system. I use an insulative layer that helps wick as well in a pair of long johns or a pair of fleece pants if it's really cold. You can also wear wool pants, as I said earlier. Wool tends to be a little more expensive. And then an overlayer, which would be your normal pants that you would wear out into the bush. And these will help things stop from getting ripped up or burned. One thing I should say while I'm here, when you wear fleece, let me see somewhere on here I got a mark. You got to be careful, because you get too close to the fire with fleece and you get a hole. That's just what happens. Fleece does tend to melt a little bit if you get too close to fire, so you do want to protect your gear and be careful with it. The nice thing about fleece is that if it gets a small hole in it, it doesn't keep ripping out like a cotton shirt would or another shirt like that. All right, lastly, let's talk about our layer that we wear on our feet, because as I said before, you lose a majority amount of heat through your head. You also lose a lot through your feet. The first thing I do is layer, as I do everywhere else, and I wear 2 pairs of socks generally with my boots. By the way, when you're buying boots, remember to buy them a size larger than you would normally wear. I wear an 11, so I buy a 12. That way I can accommodate 2 pairs of socks, a thinner and a thicker pair. This is a pair of underlayer socks. This is just a polyester sock, and it's a very lightweight, easy to put on first. But something else that I use a lot is a pair of pantyhose. And women can attest to this fact that hose will actually keep your legs and your feet pretty warm. So if you put a pair of hose on first and then put your overlayer on, it will help wick moisture away from your feet and then trap them into your insulative layer. Now for an insulative layer on my socks, I only use wool. This is merino wool. These are very, very good socks. They're not cheap. These cost about between $6 and $10 a pair, depending on what brand you get and where you get them. But if you wear 2 or 3 pair of wool socks a year, then it's well worth the money to spend if you're out in the bush a lot, because it will help to keep your feet a lot warmer. So I hope that this little bit of instruction on how to dress for cold weather has helped you. I hope that it has given you some ideas. And again, this isn't the only way to dress in the bush. This is the way that we dress here in Missouri, and we stay relatively warm. If you're in way colder areas, then you may need to change your effects a little bit. Some people use vapor barriers inside their clothing as plastic bags, or clothing that's formulated for vapor barriers. That's okay. I find that traps moisture and it actually gets me too hot. But remember layers. That way if you get hot, you can take a layer off. If you get cold, you can put a layer on. And remember, above all, to stay warm out there when it's cold. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to take a minute to thank you. We're at 2,500 subscribers now, over that, almost 2,600 now. And I think we've had 250,000 video views in the 6 months we've been on. Thank you all so very much for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Continue to bring in the requests for new videos, and we'll try and get to them as quick as we can. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon on another video.